would like to start off today with actually a small story. And I use the word today because it has a meaning. It's part of something that we're going to be talking about. I was trying to find something that I could use to emphasize what today is. That today is the new beginning. Today is a fresh start. Today is the end of what was and the beginning of what will be. Today is what you make it. How many people has heard any of these things, right? Today's the first day of the rest of your life?
Yeah.
Well, this story is something that we need to keep in mind as we consider today. What do we want today to be? Do we want today to be what it's intended to be, which is a gift that God has made for you and me? This is a day that the Lord has made, and we're going to rejoice in it. This is a day that the Lord has given us to do something different than what we've been doing. Today's a day for us to start doing something we haven't been doing. Or, if you're like me, to stop doing something you have been doing and probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
Either way, today's the day. Today is the day. We don't know what tomorrow brings. We don't know if this is the beginning or the end. We don't know if this is the middle. What we do know, God made this day for us. And that's all we know for sure. So what we make of this day is going to be up to you and I, isn't it? Now I can choose to make this a great day. I can. And through years and years of me being set in my ways, I can get to my good day through either good means or bad. Right? Somebody could lose some money and I find 20 bucks. Well, they're out 20 bucks, but I made 20 bucks, right? Okay, that's not really a win, is it? I don't think I made the most of that day. I might have felt better, but I didn't make the most of that day because the most of that day was I done made myself feel better by finding the person that lost the 20 and giving that 20 to somebody that needed it. It's just 20 bucks. Not going to change anybody's life, is it?
Good. They might.
You never know. You never know what you're going to start today with just one small push. So with that in mind, I'm going to read you a story. How many of you have ever seen elephants at the circus? Yeah. Either on TV or in person, right? Mm-hmm. When you see the elephant, what are they tied up with? A chain, a rope, not that big around. Now you have to understand that elephants weigh, what, upwards of 2 tons or more?
Mm-hmm. Probably.
Do you really think a rope that big is going to hold them? But yet it does. The same thing that's holding them back may be the same thing that's holding you back. And this is what it is. A gentleman was walking through an elephant camp, and he spotted that the elephants were being kept in cages or held by the use of chains. All that was holding them back, or they weren't in cages, they weren't in chains. All that was holding them back from escaping the camp was a small piece of rope tied to one of their legs. As the man gazed upon the elephants, he was completely confused as to why the elephants didn't just use their strength to break the rope and escape the camp. They could easily have done so, but instead, they didn't try to at all. Curious and wanting to know the answer, he asked a trainer nearby why the elephants were just standing there and never trying to escape. The trainer smiled and laughed at him and said, when they are very young and much smaller, we use the same size rope to tie them. And at that age, it's enough to hold them. As they grow up, they are conditioned to believe they cannot break away. They believe the rope can still hold them. So they never try to break free. The only reason that the elephants weren't breaking free and escaping from the camp was that over time, they have adopted the belief that it just wasn't possible. What is going to be possible for you today? And what's going to be impossible? What same old rope is going to be tied to your leg that has been tied to your leg for so long? For so long that you believe you can't break it. That's a deep subject, isn't it? But you have to understand this is our day. This is a day that the Lord has made. He's not going to let you be held back by a rope. He's not going to let you be held back by the things that have held you back for so long you believe it just isn't possible. Instead, He's going to introduce you to the light and the truth and the way. The way to forgiveness, so that rope don't hold you anymore. The way to acceptance, so that rope don't hold you anymore. The way to a better future, because somebody has told you, or told me, or told somebody else that we care about, it's just not possible. Now, I know it's been a while since I've been back up here, but I'm excited about this. Because I'm here today to tell you it's possible. If you can believe it, and you can conceive it, God can create it in you, regardless of where you are in your life. There are people that are making changes in this world that have never had the same opportunity more than once. But they took that opportunity and they said, I don't care who says it's not possible, I'm going to do it. I'll give you another quick story that I got in the top of my, or the back of my head. It runs on the same line. There are two frogs that fall into a deep hole. The rest of the frogs congregate around the outside of it, and they look down and see how far down it is where the other frogs are, and they say, don't try it, don't worry about it, you're done for. It's not possible. The frogs keep trying to jump out. They say it louder and louder. Don't worry about it. Don't try. Don't go through the pain of doing that anymore. It's not possible. Finally, one of the frogs believes him. And he gives up. And he falls to the bottom of the hole and perishes. The other frog just keeps jumping. The frog's up on top. They can't understand it. They don't know what's going on. So they're speaking louder. So they're throwing more at him. So that they're trying to get his attention. They're waving and they're stomping and they're screaming and they're yelling and they're doing it. It's not possible. Don't do it. Don't do it. But the other frog just keeps jumping and keeps jumping and keeps jumping. And finally he makes it out. He does. He makes it all the way out of this big deep hole. And they go, we can't believe you did that. What were you doing that made you be able to do this? He said, I'm deaf. I couldn't hear what you were saying. He said, I thought you were cheering me on. When you're in a hole, it depends on what you hear, on whether or not you really want to get out, right? That's where we can be, folks. We're coming out of this hole. And today's the day. Today's the day that God has made. In His own hands, in His own time, well before you and I were even thought of. He knew we would be here. And He knew the opportunities we would have. What we don't know is our response to it. So with that being said, few verses that I looked up that I want to read to you in the Bible that deals with today. And it's going to take it a second to load back up, I'm sure. And there we go. Mark 11:24. Now, there's going to be a few of these, so please, Sydney, if you're writing them down, don't get them, holler at me, and I'll give them to you. Mark 11:24. Therefore, I tell you, whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours today. Psalm 118:24. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Wonder where we heard that before. Matthew 6:34. Therefore, do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble. That means the trouble that we're having today is enough. Don't worry about the trouble you're going to have tomorrow. We got stuff to do today. James 4:13-15. Come now, you who say, today or tomorrow, we will go into such and such a town and spend a year there and trade and make a profit. Yet do not know what tomorrow will bring. What is your life? For you are a mist that appears for a little time and then vanishes. Instead, you are to say, if the Lord wills, we will live and do this or do that. Be careful how you say it. Be careful what you're thinking. We can't do anything without Him. Nothing. Can't breathe, can't exist, can't move, can't think without Christ. So before we tell Him what we're going to be doing, maybe we should ask Him what we should be doing. Hebrews 3:7. Therefore, as the Holy Spirit says, today, if you hear His voice, today. What is your today? And what is your answer going to be? Today is the day that I'm going to start doing things different. Today is the day that I'm going to take a new path. Today's the day I'm going to listen and understand that instead of looking for sadness and fear and illness, I need to be looking for happiness and joy and acceptance. Be amazed what you find once you realize what it is you're looking for today. Today, I'm going to be what Christ wants, because tomorrow might not get here. I know that sounds terminal, but it's not meant to be that way. It's meant to be, you need to do what you can do while you've got the time to do it. How many of you have ever heard your parents, or as a parent, said, do it today?
Don't put off tomorrow what you can do.
Don't put off tomorrow what you can do today. Clean your room today. Get your homework done today. Today, would you not argue with what we're having for supper and just enjoy our time together? Today, would you not tear into somebody and make their day bad so you make your day better? Today, will you ask to be forgiven or expect it? Today, will you make the change or make no change? Either way, it's still a decision. And ladies and gentlemen, Christ left it up to us. As for me and my house, we will follow the Lord. As for me and my heart, I'll follow the Lord. You show me another human being that is walking this earth today that can raise people from the dead, cure illnesses that have been afflicting people for most of their life with just the touch of His garment. Or He can give forgiveness to all mankind for all eternity by His sacrifice. And I'll show show you a man worth following. We don't have to wait for this man to appear. Jesus is here today. And he's here for all of us. Give him a chance. Give yourself a chance. Let's do it right. The Bible is our basic instructions before leaving earth. The verses in it are words that we can live by and follow. If we're in doubt of how we're supposed to treat each other, there are commandments that were left behind that we can listen to and follow to ensure we're doing what God intended for us to be doing. Now, if you are absolutely 100% doing what you think God wants you to be doing in your life right now, please let me know. I don't want nobody to raise their hand. Please don't. But see me after church, because I want to know how you did it. Because I've been searching long and hard for a way that I can feel that way. And the only way I can ever feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to is if I give Christ today. If I give Christ his day, he will make me what I need to be. That's my decision. As every other day starts off, we're going to start off doing Holy Communion. The alarm is going off. It's time to wake up. It's time to get out of bed and get your day started. This is the day God made, and he made it so that you and I can sit here in communion. We can leave the things behind that we need to. And we can take up a whole new future.